Hi, it's Brandon from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about exercise called the front squat versus bands and chains. This is a great exercise in developing speed and power for your front squat, for your lower body. And it's a very unique exercise about both bands and chains in terms of accommodating resistance on this exercise. We have a video of how to do this exercise with bands or with chains. And essentially we're just going to combine both of those implements into the same exercise. Now, why might you do that, you ask? Well, one, if you're looking for some kind of overspeed eccentrics. So the bands pulling down constantly is a unique property that chains don't offer. So being able to have some kind of band tension on there is pretty important in terms of if you want to try to get that training effect. Now, you can add the chains on there as well, as you'll still get that feel as well in terms of the chains deloading the ground and coming off. And you'll also feel a little bit of the instability as well. So you're kind of getting a best of both worlds. You're getting some tendinous adaptations from the bands. You're also getting the accommodating resistance piece of the chains, but also getting the instability piece from it. And then combined all that together, you've got a pretty good exercise in terms of developing speed and power, both at the cellular level and just from the intent level as well. You can also look at this as a way, if you happen to be somebody that's short in terms of having bands or chains, having enough of them combined to get what you need in terms of your accommodating resistance needs. Now, that's not a problem for us at our facility, but I do like the way that an exercise like this feels, as it's fluid with the bands. The bands almost have this like Smith machine-like effect that it feels smooth, but the chains are going to still help it feel more normal, like a regular front squat, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to go into any crazy details in terms of all the setup. I've got my chains out here with my easy loaders and my 5/8 chain. I got my bands hooked up to the bar here, as well as my band pegs. I got all tied up together. If you're looking for that setup, we got videos on both of those, the exercises and how to set the bands and chains on our YouTube channel. And then when it comes to selecting this, just as normal, you want about 20 to 25% of accommodating resistance in total. This is probably just a tad bit much for me in terms of how I was actually going to train. This might be closer to like 30% or so, but it's relatively close. I could just back off on the band tension a little bit and I'd be okay. In terms of the hand position for the front squat, the front rack position would be here. The only main thing here is if you have any need to catch a front squat or be in, catch a clean in that position, or you need to be here as you're training your front squat, again, to probably help your clean and be in a more athletic-based position, then I think it's important that you train the variation in that position. Now, if it's not important to you or you don't need to, then you can certainly cross and you're probably going to be okay for most people. That's all the setup piece. Let's show you what it looks like, and then we'll talk about some programming stuff. So I'm going to go with the cross position today. Here. Get my feet down, unrack until that's pretty heavy. With this with no weight on it, and we're going to go down and up, down, and then rack. So, not too bad in terms of how everything felt, how everything looked. It felt pretty smooth, and I could definitely tell there was quite a bit of weight on there with the accommodating resistance. So when it comes to programming exercise like this is a great conjugate piece right here in terms of doing a 1-rep max, because like I said, you get the benefits of both, and it's really easy to start stacking some weight on relatively quickly because you have so much just natural accommodating resistance by having the bands and the chains on there. But I do think it just provides a good quality way to learn to grind against weight, because you're going to get those overspeed eccentrics, they're going to help you, but you're also going to get the chains which slowly come off, which I think are great for learning how to grind. So 1 to 2, 3 rep maxes, something like that. If you want to do dynamic effort work, again, you can. Considering you're going to have to combine the implements, you probably have to make sure your athletes have a good quality general strength in the front squat just to be able to do it, to be able to get the percentages right, which is totally fine, because obviously if you can't front squat as much as you can back squat. But you can certainly set things up. Elite FTS makes microbands, and you can find some thinner chains. You could really make it happen if you really wanted to. But in that case, 40 to 50% of your 1-rep max would be on the bar, and you perform that for about 8 to 12 triples or doubles as fast as you can, and then resting about 30 to 60 seconds in between, trying to get some fatigue from the nervous system and the motor units, and then you're trying to elicit new motor units, which is going to help make you faster, more explosive, and a better athlete. So again, this is a good, unique variation to this exercise. Not very common, but I do think it's a good way to not only build your front squat, build some speed and power, but also mix things up if you're looking for a change of pace, or you're limited on your variations of your squat in terms of conjugate, you ain't got a whole lot of equipment, this would be a good option as well. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.